All right, welcome to another episode of Just Because Live. My name is Chris Nicolason, and I'm really honored today to have a panel discussion with some foodies that I connected with over at the Facebook COS Foodies group. Highly recommend that group if you're into food, if you're into pictures that'll just make your mouth water, and into just kind of talking about all things Colorado Springs food. So we've got a great panel today, and then if I can have each of you introduce yourselves, where you're at, and where what you do, and we'll start with Cynthia. If you can go first.
Hi everyone, Cynthia Bickle here. I own Carefree Bar and Grill. We just opened in July. We're excited to be here.
Excellent. And Deanna?
Good morning. I am Deanna. I am the chef and owner of the Forest Bistro, also recently opened in July.
Perfect. And Chef Mark Henry.
I am Mark Henry. I'm the chef owner of Rooster's House of Ramen, Happy Belly Tacos East, West, Wobbly Olive, and Illusion Speakeasy.
Fine. And AJ? And then you're muted.
Hi, I'm AJ Frasca. I'm the third generation owner of Panino's restaurant. My grandfather started here in Colorado Springs, and my uncle and cousins own the downtown location, and I own the Powers and A Street location.
Perfect. And Cynthia.
My name is Cynthia, and I'm the owner of El Sazón de la Abuela. We just opened.
Perfect. Excellent. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming on today. And so the goal of today is to be able to talk about your restaurants and kind of what you guys have been going through with COVID. And one thing AJ and I were talking a little bit about is kind of the roller coaster effect. I own a law firm in town, and we've had to close down in the beginning, and then we came back a bit, and then cases, for us spiked up a bit, and then now they're kind of going back down again. Our phone, for us at least, our phone was not ringing at all during this. It started ringing again, and then it actually stopped right around Thanksgiving. So for you guys, can I get it kind of what the experiences you guys have gone through from the beginning of COVID to now this new code red that we're in right now? And whoever wants to take the lead on that.
Sure. I'll jump in. Our biggest challenge was opening. We were slated to open right when the COVID hit and everybody went down. So we, of course, had to postpone our opening. And then finally, we just had to bite the bullet in 1st of July and open up. So it's been a real struggle because we've never been fully opened as a new brick and mortar.
Mark, what have you seen?
So we've experienced that a couple different levels. Wobbly Olive's been around for 5-6 years. Roosters is going on year 5. Our Happy Belly East location has been open for actually I think a year today. And then our West location, we opened 12 days before the first shutdown. So we have experienced, restaurants that have pretty good reputation and have been around for a little while. So they have a following. And then we also have a concept that is a sister restaurant to a concept that's been around for about 1.5 years, 2 years that nobody knows exists. And, the landscape has been different at every single one of the locations. And the pivoting that we've done from what we typically do to operating under this new set of constraints has been a little bit different everywhere. So I don't know that any of them have been easy. Our West location that was open 12 days before we opened is actually currently closed. And that's actually more due to manpower. We were having an issue with staffing and trying to get everybody tested and make sure that we're self-regulating and doing the responsible thing to keep the community safe. And just trying to recover from that and keep things going has been challenging, to say the least.
Right. And then Cynthia Bickle, what have you seen so far?
Same as kind of like Deanna. We were set to open in April and didn't get to open till July 21st. We've struggled since the beginning with getting licenses and inspections and everything done. Finally opening, never to full capacity, but we are hanging in there, offering takeout and now delivery, just to kind of keep up with the debt that comes with it all, and unexpectedly, COVID kind of doing this to all of us. It's certainly been a struggle, and so thinking about everybody.
Absolutely. And Cynthia, you said too that you guys had just recently opened. Is that right?
Yes, so we had always had like wanting to open a food establishment, and unfortunately we picked the wrong year to open up. We started with the licenses the beginning of the year, and we had a lot of struggles with the health department, which is understandable. It took us about 3 months to get that license, so we finally opened up like right after COVID hit. The first day was really good, but I mean, I get it. People don't have money like before, so not a lot of people are coming out. So
Right. And then AJ, what are you seeing over at your places?
Well, I can emphasize with all you guys, first of all, opening a new restaurant is hard enough. In the middle of this is just, I can't even imagine. And like Chef Mark said, he's seen the whole spectrum. So I can't even imagine how much your head is spinning, Chef. But, we have been established for 46 years in town with the downtown location. The biggest thing I think we did that helped us was we kind of saw the rules coming from the state with the new sanitation, and we kind of put some rules of our own in place that were tighter than them and didn't change them until we just went back to go only. So it was easier on our staff. We kind of left our menu the same. We don't have as the culinary, vibes that Chef Mark does and these other chefs do. I'm not a chef owner. I'm just an owner. Our brand's been around. Food hasn't really changed a lot, but Chef, I saw him the other night. He said we just got creative, and I can only imagine what they're doing with food. But leaving it for ourselves to just kind of market what we do and that we're here still is kind of what we've tried to just keep moving. And it's been up and down, but the hardest has been on our staff. I don't think there's a lot of talk about the employees and what they're going through. We're the front runner of it, but everybody's nodding their head like, yeah. I mean, our staff are like, what's next? When's it coming? I know that Chef probably could tell you there's a notification from the health department at like 12 a.m. saying that we could go to open for business, I think in May. I can't remember, but it came in at 12 o'clock, midnight.
That was like 12:06 in the morning.
Yeah, you remember.
Yeah, through my phone. I had to get a new one the next day.
So let's talk about that for a minute, because like I was, so I've waited tables for a long, long time. It helped me get through college and things like that. I waited tables down in Vegas. I waited here at the North and South Carrabba's, and so I don't understand the aspect of being an owner of a restaurant, but understand kind of the ins and outs and being part of a staff. And I know that one of the things I've loved and bring out to my law firm is that team aspect, that dynamic that your staff has, not only with you as the owner, as the chef, but also just generally. There's no tighter group of people that I've seen than people that work in restaurants together, because it's where that true aspect of team comes along. Because when you're in the weeds and you need help getting, drinks to your table or, this or that or what have you, like you got everybody kind of hustling for you to help, make sure that your guests are taken care of. One of the reason I put this together was because there was an article that I read about right before Code Red came back in, or, was implemented, about restaurants having to lay staff off right before the holidays. Can you guys talk about that and, what things you guys are, putting in place, what things that we as a community can do to help your staff out, things like that? Because that's really one thing I want to talk about here.
So I'm going to jump in on this one real quick, because this has been a big push for myself and my business partners, Sean and Inez Fitzgerald. We made it all the way through the first round of shutdowns, and we didn't lay off a single person. And we prided ourselves on that. And, we did a lot of work, and we got very creative, tried to figure out how to generate revenue. But we also realistically had the PPP money come in. We had those subsidies from the government. And this time, there's a non-bipartisan, essentially schoolyard fight going on politically that's keeping that PPP money restricted from us. And of course, everybody here would love to make it through the second round of shutdowns without laying anybody off either. Unfortunately, I just don't know that that's going to be realistic. We're having to get creative in the sense that one of the things we're looking at doing right now is putting together a citywide delivery program that implements all of the restaurants. We're in the infancy stages of it. We've about got the app built. And what we're looking to do, and we're working with the CRA and the state CRA and multiple different facets of business, because this is affecting more than just, restaurants and bars, but taking employees that we don't necessarily have work for and 1099ing them and getting them on the road to deliver for all the different concepts, doing front porch happy hours and making cocktails and allowing them to keep those delivery fees and tips. And kind of taking some of the market back from some of the bigger third-party, Grubhubs and DoorDashes and Uber Eats that don't give a shit about any of our concepts and they just want their cut. So we're working on a program and an initiative called COS Delivers to try to take that back and get some of our restaurant professionals that serve these people when they come to our establishments and sit in the spaces that we pay rent for, not the sidewalks and stuff that the city is so graciously starting to allow us to use. But we want to be able to deliver that same experience that we do in our establishments at people's homes, finding different, packages, gift baskets, taco boxes, all sorts of different things, pivoting our menu to more handhelds and stuff like that. Unfortunately, one of my cream of the crop concept, Roosters, we do soup. Soup's a bitch when it comes to delivery and takeout, man. Especially for, sitting out on the patio. There's nothing I want to do less than serve hot soup in 30-degree weather when there's snow falling from the air. So, trying to get staff invigorated and get your damn tail out of my face. Sorry, this is our company mascot, and he's kind of attached to me. Getting our staff engaged and personally invested so that they're coming up with ideas, because they're really the heartbeat of this too. They talk to the customers, they deal with the community. So hearing some of the stuff that they want via our staff and getting them to personally invest, with their time, not necessarily their money, and helping us create some of these experiences that people are looking for. Because really, we're all in the business right now of trying to create some sort of normalcy for our community. And we also, none of us want to lay staff off. My little brother is actually one of my chefs, so it's real hard for me to walk in and say, hey man, I might have to let you go because I know in 2 months he may not have a place to live and he ain't moving in with me.
Right. And Deanna, I see you nodding your head there as well. What comments do you have in regards to?
Yeah, we're a little unique because we are rural in the forest. So delivery for us, we're not, around subdivision, so it's not really an option for us. We are getting creative like everybody else is with, family meals and, just different options like that. We're lucky that we're the pretty much only restaurant up here with a liquor license and doing dinner. So we've had pretty good support up here, but like everybody, just getting creative with what we can do. And of course, staff, and people don't realize it's not just my staff. We have live music every weekend. I had to let all my musicians go. And it's also our local purveyors. Most of us offer local beers, local produce, and things like that. And so the chain trickles, it's wider than the restaurants. And I wish people would think about that. Even our laundry service, we cut our laundry service since we don't have indoor dining. We don't need laundry service. So it's a further reach than a lot of people realize that it's not just the restaurants, that it has, like I said, affects more lives than people think.
Absolutely. And Cynthia Bickle, comments on this?
In not qualifying for the PPP, as we weren't in business in operation in 2019, we got into it knowing that we weren't going to need quite the staff that we anticipated. So as far as letting our staff go or laid off, we had a couple that we unfortunately had to lay off as the business just wasn't there. I mean, we were the new kids on the block. and doing this in a pandemic, and brought a couple back recently, just because we got creative with the takeout and the delivery, doing family meal deals and so forth. We have a patio. Unfortunately, it's not heated. The funds just aren't there. Again, not qualifying for the program that is out there for those who may qualify to have that option. But it's certainly been a struggle. We are a family ran business, so my husband's the chef. I cook as well, run the front end, and my daughter's definitely helping out with a lot of it as well. So we got kind of lucky in that at least we weren't, having a huge staff that we shortly thereafter had to let go. But the struggle is real.
Absolutely. And I want to talk for a minute too then about one of the things that we've gone through ourselves is this kind of, and you guys, I think with your staffs, with yourselves have gone through this, like this roller coaster of emotions, right? So here I am, I'm at home today. We've got like one person in our, housing our actual office and everybody else is working from home. So how do you guys then, not only within yourselves and as owners then too, with your staff, kind of try to keep motivation up or positivity going, things like that? Or are there just days where you're just like you were saying, Mark, where you got to walk in and look at your brother and go, I just don't know today. You know what I mean? I don't know. And so how are you guys like handling your emotions as you go through this each day? AJ?
I'm going to tail what Mark said about his delivery thing a little bit with it and just kind of drive home that point of what Mark said, Chef Mark Henry. He goes, keep the support local. So we're changing our habits as a company. We're changing our habits as a family. And we're actually going to those places and showing up for soup that's not good to go because we want Chef Mark to be there. And I don't know him personally very well, but I know his businesses. I've been here long enough to see him. And so that right there creates a vibe, a culture that's bigger than our restaurant alone, that I'm connected to Chef Mark Henry because what he's doing is trying to change our community around. And as a community, we can change it by changing our habits. And so I teach our staff, like, here's what we're working on as a community. It's not about Paninos, it's about everybody that's in this meeting. And if anybody's listening, change your habits to show up. And so we're doing that actively as a team. We're giving our staff the opportunity to go share their opinions and their voice and say, come see us, and I'm going to just be that guy for a second. Everybody's saying, yeah, it's okay to go to these big box places because those employees that work there live in our community, which is true. But when we're talking about a pandemic, we don't have endless resources. So they're going to be here, unless you want nothing but McDonald's in town, then you need to figure out who the places are that need you and just go there over and over and over and over and knock on the door and say, are you open yet? Come, and we'll feed you. Right. Chef Mark said he was tired this morning, probably because he was up all night trying to figure out what he's going to do today to feed people. So our staff see that in every other business that's out there. People come to our restaurant from other local places and say, here's what we're doing. What do you need? And we're trying to share ideas and resources and whatever we can. So they see that as our staff. It's motivating. It's exciting. It's they're in it just as much as we are. They could go work at the big boxes and they know that. That's not who they are.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
My GM said, I love this place. I love you. I love working here. I'm not going anywhere. So what are we going to do to figure it out? And I can only imagine what it's like for everybody else. But I really want to just give Chef Mark the kudos for what he's working on. That's kind of, with the delivery. We've spent more on delivery through these big places than you guys would even want to know about. It's taking away from all people, so.
Absolutely.
I can't wait to tell them that there's people out there fighting the same way we are. That's the key. So,
right.
I know I kind of went on a tangent there, but man.
Okay.
No, I think you actually hit on some good points, man. I want to dovetail in there real quick. I'm not the best chef in town by any means or in the state. There's always somebody right around the corner that's a little bit better than I am. And, it's my responsibility and all of our responsibilities to seek those people out and learn what we can. And it's also, more important right now than ever before. And this has been my mantra since I opened Roosters, which was my first concept back in May of 2017, that, supporting local is what it's all about. And now more than ever is that true, because, the minute that AJ loses sight and support from all of us, or Deanna loses sight and support from all of us, and everybody in this conversation does, it doesn't matter. The machine's going to continue to churn. The day that I fuck Roosters up, there's going to be a McDonald's there. Brother Luck's restaurant is right next door to mine. The minute he closes, there's going to be a Chili's there. When AJ's downtown location closes, there's going to be a Starbucks there. These people have these resources, but the reason that we have the staff that we have, and we've created these families of restaurant professionals, because they don't want to flip burgers for $15 an hour. These guys would rather come and work for us for $1 over minimum wage, because we are honest with them and we're open with them, and that we can't afford to feed them these $16, $17, $18, $20 an hour corporate jobs. But they're passionate about their craft. They want to progress. They want to learn from us. They want to one day go on to own their own thing, because there is more than just money behind this. There's community, and we're plugged into that, and it's important to us. And from day one, the reason that I opened my restaurant was I've worked in restaurants my whole adult life since I retired from the military. And I've always just wanted my wife and kids to be able to come in and see me, and me be able to take 5 minutes to sit down with them and not have, the people that I'm working with think, oh, he's a lazy piece of crap. But we wanted to create this family community where everybody's families could come in and see them, and they can still do the things that they love, but they can also still be a part of their family, and they can have a good home life, and their mental health is good, and everything thrives in their life instead of just career. So the minute that we lose sight of that, and we don't find our why as to why we're fighting this fight, and we don't get creative, and we don't bend these stipulations, we don't find the loopholes, and we show our staff that we're not going to fight, and that we're not just going to lay down and let them fuck us over. It's the minute that this whole industry falls back, and we're going to be left with shitty food to eat, with people that don't give a shit that are cooking it. And then everything that we've done up to this point is for nothing. And our community is going to be just like every other cookie cutter community around the world. And the last thing that I'm ever going to do, and I will fight until my goddamn fingertips bleed, I want my kids to see what they are capable of if they put forth the effort. And my little brother is a recovering drug addict. He's been clean for 3 years, and that's because of part of the community that we created. We're doing more than putting food on plates. And if people don't understand that, that's what we need to be doing. We need to be on videos like this and having these conversations and changing these narratives and getting support, rallying for one another. I don't have a better restaurant than you. I just have a different one. And I need you to succeed just as much as I need to succeed. And we all need to rally on that.
Yes.
Amen.
Ooh. Dang, Chef. Man.
Yeah, I think that warrants a minute of just fresh air. Hold on a second. Thanks,
Yeah.
Jeff.
I'm just a line cook, and I'm pretty good at drinking beer.
I think it's an interesting thing out there too, because I think there's a vulnerability that comes with what you just said. And it's that idea there too, though, that if for each of us, you guys here in this panel, it's one of those things too. I think it's easy for us to get, at least for me in my business. I know my wife's going through her weight loss journey right now, and she feels alone. And she just put a post out recently about, her journey there, and she realizes that she's not alone in it. And so for each of us, we go to work in our shops each day. And then is it one of those things too, where are there moments or times? So like Cynthia, you're just starting out. We've got new restaurants being started here where, you get so bogged down in your own spot that you ever just feel alone. Like it's just you out there trying to figure it all out. Or has COVID and all of this actually helped build a bigger community with all the restaurateurs in town? Do you guys feel like it's actually kind of brought you guys closer together?
I think so. And I'm amazed at how many of our local places have reached out to me. And also as just because I have my own restaurant, I'm trying to support, especially those that are weeks away from closing. Putting out the call that it's not just about our place, that it's like you guys were saying, that it's a community, and getting the community out there, that when we see lines just wrapped around these fast food places, and I'm like, hey, Chef Stevie at Atmosphere has an amazing burger. Let's get over there. His dining room is empty. Just like I said, rallying around everybody, not just our own little places.
Absolutely.
And it makes other people feel heard, because I think a lot of people don't feel heard or don't know, a lot of us. So it's also a good thing that we're all coming together, whether it's through this or through our, meetings that we've been having ongoing, that it's building a stronger community. So when we do come out of this, we're all going to be better for it.
Absolutely. And Cynthia from El Cezanne, can I ask you too, you just opened up, so how has it been for you? Have you felt like alone? What struggles have you gone through so far?
It does, we're a family-owned business as well, so it does feel kind of like we're alone, just because we barely started. Like, I'm talking about, we opened in August, we're like brand new. So
Good on you.
it feels like not a lot of people really know us. Like right now, it's hard. I've been going crazy, like on the marketing, trying to get our name out there, but it's just hard. Like, people aren't coming out, and like she said, you see all like a 10-hour wait at In-N-Out, and they're a chain restaurant. They're gonna be open forever, so it's hard. It's been, feels very difficult, and kind of alone, trying to, stay positive. And when, we're not seeing that revenue come in, we're kind of just like, is it really worth it? Like, should we even, continue being open? But, yeah.
And then
I may jump in here real fast. I think Deanna and Cynthia, you both bring up great points. And I've had this conversation over and over again. And we're here because this is a Colorado Springs Foodies segment of the show that you're doing, Chris. And I think that's awesome. And I'm sure everybody in this panel has seen these posts, every day, at least once or twice a day. Somebody's asking, how long is the line at In-N-Out? And we end up in this conversation about, support local, and everybody's fighting back and forth on these posts. And I get it. If I may, just for 30 seconds, I'm going to stand on a soapbox because I have a totally different outlook on this. AJ brought up a great point. They employ a lot of local people, but we as restaurant owners and community members and supporters of all of us, every independent restaurant, we got to have a different outlook on this. In-N-Out's not going to go anywhere. Fuck them. You don't have the time right now to bitch about In-N-Out having the support that they have. What we have to do is we have to be better. Serve a better burger. Provide a better experience. Have better restaurant professionals that give a better experience to them. Create regulars. Bring them back. We're not going to beat these guys. We don't have the money. Even if we all empty our bank accounts today and we fill one coffer, we're not going to beat their marketing. We're not going to beat their buying power. They have consolidating buying power nationwide. We have to be better. We have to dig deep and find the why we got into this industry again. And we have to do that. We have to not let COVID take away our creativity. We have to be the leaders in the industry that we love. And I don't want to see anybody close. I don't want to see one independent restaurant shutter. But if we can't dig deep and be better than these franchises that don't give a shit about the product that they're doing, we're in the wrong business, and you might as well give it up now. And I don't want anybody to do that. I want you to dig deep. I want you to call me if you need help. I don't give a shit if I don't sleep for a week. If you need help on your menu, you call me. I've been all over Food Network. I've done this. I've done that. None of it matters. What matters right now is if we can employ our staff at the end of next week. If you can't make your next payroll because you need help, you get your ass on that damn phone and you call somebody to help you. I'm going to be there. My partners are going to be there. Our cooks are going to come and help you. We're going to do what we need. This is a community. It's a family, and I love all of you. We're going nowhere if we stay together.
So, and the one thing too with that even is, Cynthia, that's the big thing too, is, and just to make sure that everybody here knows, is that, yeah, you're not alone. It's, I think it's easy for us to get caught up here a lot of times in our own heads. And that's the worst place that we can be. And yet you got to reach out. You got to be able to talk to people and just ask, and even just shoot like even getting an offer from Mark to go, hey, let's just talk for a few minutes. Picking up the phone and talking to somebody can be so helpful. So on those moments when you're feeling like, is it worth it? And you're kind of trying to weigh that. I think it's absolutely worth it just to text somebody, pick up the phone and just talk.
If it was worth it for you in the beginning, it's worth it for you now.
Yeah.
And we can help you.
Absolutely. So I want to talk for a minute too. One big thing for me as a former server, and I want to talk on I don't know if it's a touchy subject or not, but I want to talk on tipping. And the reason I want to talk on that is that I'm a believer in tipping and tipping well, generally. But I think even now more than anything it's not only this code red, it's COVID. You guys are now constricted even more, and the people serving are constricted even more. The number of tables they're getting, things like that. But also we've got the holidays coming up. And so what are you guys seeing in regards to tipping? And honestly, I want your honest truth on what you guys think about when people come out right now, not telling them what to tip, but kind of what your feelings are on that, because that's an important part on how servers make their living. And so you guys want to talk on that for a minute? Cynthia?
Yeah, I'll touch on this. Luckily, we do have a couple loyal customers that come in every once in a while, as well as, customers that are barely coming in. And we've gotten really lucky, honestly, with people tipping. The other day, we had a customer with a $10 order and he tipped $10. So it's like that, those little things do make a difference. And we really do appreciate that. And we've been lucky enough to get blessed with those customers that are comfortable with tipping.
Excellent. Thank you. And Cynthia Bickle, what about you?
I too have seen recently, definitely the tips have been larger. I think the kind of the word's been gotten out that, if you can afford to do it, these people, I've got one gal that I mentioned works back there with me. She's working 3 jobs just to make ends meet because she's not making half the tips she was before. And I'm thinking people are realizing that, the business just isn't there. We're not indoor dining. So any extra dollar you can afford to give, these restaurant workers is greatly appreciated because they're, we're all struggling. I really appreciate that people are seeing that this is a real deal and are affording a little extra in those tips.
Excellent. And AJ, what are you seeing over at Panino's?
I've seen a whole variety of it. I think the over tipping, I've seen $100 tips on $10. I've seen it all. I think the key is just pick your place and go see your people. I mean, Chef Marks is passionate, a guy I've interviewed a lot of people. I guarantee you he didn't keep all of his staff because people were tipping him $100 here and there. That was on him. That was his burden. So showing up and ordering soup, just keeping these places open is all it takes. I mean, these big tips are great, but we're looking long-term. So we don't want people to come out and overspend if you don't have to. I mean, yeah, it's great for our staff and they love it. Absolutely 100%, but just order your soup. Come get, what Cynthia and Deanna and their new stores have to offer. Just come show up. We just need you to show up. And I'll be honest, you showing up and saying, hey, we're glad you're still here is bigger than any tip you're ever going to give us by just showing your support, by actually coming here instead of going to the other big boxes means more. Just calling Deanna and saying, hey, I don't know if I'm ever going to make it out there in the forest to order from you, but I saw you and I'm just thinking about you it means more to us. We're human. It's not a rat race here for us. It means something. Chef Mark's got me tearing up because he's telling the truth of it. And yeah, we're going to be okay. But as human beings, man, you got to take care of each other and support each other right now. And our staff, yeah, they're happy. They're fine. Give them a hug. Go give them a high five. I mean, whatever. So yeah, it's a real slippery slope. I think there's a balance of keeping our staff safe, keeping them employed so they can feed their family. And then the mental piece of all of that is so real. And people are all saying, everything you see says the restaurant industry is getting it the worst. The restaurant industry is getting it the worst. And I saw Mark a few nights ago, and then yesterday I was pretty inspired, and I called everyone in our community and all the leaders and spoke for our community and said, hey, just so you know, our restaurants need you to open up a little bit of the restrictions. It's not because we are breaking COVID rules, but we want to serve our community and have the opportunity to earn a living for our staff, you know, for everyone. And that's, you know, I'm sorry I'm going on another tangent here, but man, people want to know what to do. Go to your local places and just keep showing up. That's all we need you to do.
Excellent. All right, guys. So we're about 30 minutes in, and I want to respect your guys' time because I know Mark needs to go get some sleep. And
Oh, I gotta go to work after this.
there you I see you getting
Pull the Harley out of the garage and go get after it.
you're getting your gallon in, man. I see that. So what I'd like to do at the end of each show is I want to leave each of you just with a last word, just any thought that you've got right now. Guys, I do sincerely appreciate your time. I value you. I appreciate you. And really appreciate you guys coming on and speaking your mind today about everything that's been going on. So I'm really honored to have such a talented panel on. And yeah, so we'll start with Deanna and then go down after that. Deanna, last word for you.
Yeah, just as we've been talking about, just, you know, support us locally as much as possible. And we're all fighting the good fight to be here going forward.
Perfect. Thank you. And Cynthia Bickle.
I think we're going to kind of say the same thing, to support local, support each other, you know, do what you can. And, you know, even if you can't make it, there's options of takeout and delivery anymore. And, you know, just be there to support your local business. As Deanna had kind of mentioned, there's other people in line that it affects, not just us, our staff, our entertainment, our, you know, distributors, the whole works. So show up.
And then we just got a comment too from my friend Cindy. She's actually up in Canada now, but used to live here, and she went to the Pikes Peak baking. She did the culinary program over at Pikes Peak and made fabulous pastries. So Cindy, big fan. And she just says, thanks for bringing attention to this industry and its current challenges. So guys, thank you very much with that. And then Cynthia, your last word?
Yeah, so basically, you know, just the same thing, really just support locally. You know, we're trying to eat too. We're here to feed you. And if you guys want to go give us a like on our Facebook page, if you just search up El Sazon 719, it'll be the first one that pops up. We are making tamales today, and they'll be out for delivery tomorrow. So we will go and personally deliver them to whatever address you'd like, free of charge. So just, you know, if you guys want to buy, just go like our page, send a message, and order.
Perfect. And then here, before we go over to AJ, this is Tracy. I know Tracy's local and she's on the foodie board, my banker. So thank you guys for all you do. We will keep showing up. And I've got a friend of mine from Ohio who posted too, Annika. She said she can't enjoy you guys right now, but do any of you guys ever share your recipes? I don't know if those are kept really, really close to the vest or not, but you know, it's one of those things. So, so they may be out there. So do any of you guys share your recipes at all?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Yep.
Very cool. And AJ, your last word?
I kind of reach out to the restaurants. I think with Mark's passion, it just reminded me of how important it is to support each other's restaurants. So AJ at Paninos.com is my AJ at Paninos.com is my email. If anybody's out there and needs help, send me an email. And if I can't help you, I'll go bang on Chef Mark's door and find him until he's, you know, awake. If it's in the middle of the night and we need to do something, I think the restaurants coming together is going to be really cool through this. But whatever we can do to help you guys that are on this panel and listening in, whoever it may be, we would love to just whatever we can do. We cannot close. I mean, I quit every day. I quit working and I go home and I don't want to quit, but I do. Every day I quit. I'm like, I'm done. But don't close. Don't give up. Do not close. I don't care. Just do whatever it takes, you guys. And we are Americans and we have the right to be in business, and let's go do that. So whatever we can do to help.
All right. Thank you. And Chef Mark.
You know, I want to echo everything that everybody else has already said, but I think there's also another message that we haven't touched on. So I'm going to rely on everybody to listen to what my fellow panelists here have said, but also we are in the service industry. So as much as we want to sit here and, you know, tell you about our staff and everything, we're here also to serve the community. And every single one of us are standing here today with our hats in our hands, coming to you humbly and asking for your help, but we also want to provide for you. So reach out to us. Let us know the needs that you have. What dishes are you looking for? What family meal needs do you have? Do you have an event or a birthday or something coming up that you need support in and you can't find what you need on my menu? I will make it. If I got to go to the grocery store and buy the ingredients and make you, you know, porterhouse steaks and go all French fine dining on you, I can do that out of my ramen shop. I'm a service industry professional and I'm here to serve. So please continue to support us. Let us support you. Let's all get through this together, because at the end of the day, it's not about my restaurant or AJ's or anything else. We're all Coloradans and we're all from Colorado Springs and we love all of you guys. We just want to be a part of the memories that you're creating, and we want to be here through the end, and we want to do this again with you next year on better terms. So please continue to support us and give us the opportunity to support all of you.
Absolutely. And with that, we'll leave it there. Guys, I want to thank you all for coming on today. Please enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for all you do. And I will be out to visit all your places. So I'm excited. And please, again, too, if you guys ever need anything, just let me know, too. And I'd be happy to help you out. Happy to reach out to my connections as well. And if there's any way, too, that my business can help you guys out, I am happy to chat with you guys offline as well. So thank you guys so much.
What's up, Chris?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye, guys.
you.
Bye.